guys. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you had a great week. We are back. Bree is on the line with me.
Hola.
And Keisha be joining. And we might have J Money up. Trish had to take care of some things tonight, so she would not be able to be with us. But we got a bunch of nonsensical stuff going on this week, especially on the Young and the Restless.
Yeah, a lot of people not making any sense at all.
No. I mean, at least on Bold, it's just been pretty. But yeah, on The Young and the Restless, these folks, listen, here's the thing. I have never seen so many issues with people's lives outside of the whole Jordan thing. And we'll talk about that, what I mean, in a second. But yeah, it's crazy. Hey, welcome you guys. Melinda, Blackpink Me, Cece, Vicky Langer, Monique Abrams, D. Spencer, Cheryl Hines, T.A., Morpheus. Hey, Jay.
Hey y'all.
Hey, Jay.
Hey Bree.
Yes, yes, yes. Y'all were in here early. I peeped y'all up in here at about 10, 15 minutes to 7. They come up in here talking about they need Thomas back. I agree. All right, so let me go ahead and get this show on the road and we can get going. So, welcome you guys to Soap Corner Talk, where myself, T, Bree, oh, there's Keish, Bree, Keish, and Jay will be recapping both The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful for the week of April 15th through April 19th. We usually start with The Young and the Restless at the first half of the show. Then we have a little bit of a housekeeping break. Then we go into The Bold and the Beautiful in the second half of the show. And then we have the Flip the Script segment. If there's a particular scene or storyline that you wish you could change, that's where we flip the script. And who's taking several seats? Somebody that was doing too much, got on your ever-loving nerves this week. Tell them they need to go somewhere and sit down. And then we have our star of the week. And then we have our pickle of the week. All right. And then, yeah, the Daytime Emmy Award nominations came out today. And I know there's a lot of conversation around that. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting to say the least. So, y'all ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. All right, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. So, we're starting with The Young and the Restless for the week of April 15th through the 19th. Jordan abducts Claire and Harrison. Cricket can't go away with Danny. And Nikki admits to Jack she's been drinking. Now, Jordan holds Harrison captive and sends a ransom note as Summer blames everyone for enabling Claire. A drunk Nikki shows up at Jack's house. Jordan demands passage to France. And Ashley. Oh, yeah, Ashley's lied too. Okay. And let me see. Tensions rise as Billy thinks Lily looks petty. Chelsea and Adam spiral, and Lily is tired of playing nice. And then finally, Nikki plans to offer herself up as bait. Sharon tries to calm Adam down, and Chance agreed to help find Harrison. All right. So where y'all want to start? Can we get? You know what? Let's get Cricket out. Cricket
I,
and Danny and
I,
Phyllis.
I was about to say that's perfect, perfect, perfect. They did all of this just for her to go take a job.
Right.
She went on dates with bad wigs and went toe to toe over petty 30-year-old remix arguments, only for her to say, you know what, I prefer my check instead. Explain this to me, but writers, please, if you're listening, why did y'all do this to us?
I know, right? What y'all think, Keish and Jay?
Um, I forgot they was even on this week.
Dang.
I I agree with Bree. Like, what was the point of that whole back and forth and that triangle for them to just have Cricket saying, "Never mind, I'm going to stay here and work." So I don't know if they did this because maybe they changed their mind about Danny and Phyllis. Or well, that wouldn't even make sense because Danny's supposed to go on tour.
Right.
I don't know. I don't understand it and I don't care anymore, so
Right. I was hoping they just ride off into the sunset, in my
that's what
opinion.
I thought was gonna happen.
Ugh.
Well, I think I said this in the group chat. I told y'all what I think it was. It was that lackluster D he gave her in that hotel room.
Oh my God.
Once that happened, and she realized, this ain't hitting right, literally.
I
She
can't
was
tell.
done with it. She was done with it.
I'm sorry, Jay. I can't tell. She was so happy. He was putting rose petals on her back, and they had the sweet elevator music. That was probably plenty for her.
I mean, the rose petals is nice, but yeah, the rose petals is nice, but when it actually came to that action, I don't think old boy Danny was, giving her what she wanted. So she's ready to take that check. She said, "Go ahead and go on your little tour, enjoy your groupies, and I'm just gonna go collect my money."
You think he has groupies?
Oh my God.
Yeah, like 60-year-old senior citizen type groupies that were fans of him back in the 80s.
Oh my God, y'all so funny. And see, this is Jay, y'all. For some of y'all that haven't heard him in a while, and I know some of you guys experienced Jay in the comment section. So yeah, now he is live right with us today. But yeah, Jay, that's hilarious. Maybe that's what it was. She was like, I don't know about this one, but
But they twice.
They
but
wouldn't have sex on Daniel's couch though.
yeah, I know, right? My thing is, I agree with not only what Jay was talking about, but what you two were talking about as well. Why did we go through that whole cat fight for those several weeks between Phyllis and Christine in order for her to say, well, okay, I guess I'm not going on tour. I'm gonna go to work. I'm like, okay, really? Just figure out what you're gonna send Danny where he's gonna go, but look like he's gonna be here next week too. And I don't know.
Amaya Baker said it's also Michelle Stafford's 30th anniversary this year, so that's why they redid the triangle. And I can see that makes sense. It's just, even still, they how long was the storyline going for like what, 5 months, 6 months?
My thing is, if it's her anniversary, make her look good. Don't make her look pathetic.
Yeah, like
Because
desperate.
even sorry.
No, but that was all. I was like, this desperate. Like, why?
Yeah, even when she saw Daniel and Danny at society, and she goes over to the table, basically being an immature child, like, oh, Cricket changed her mind, huh? Oh, so are you guys broken? Just like, Phyllis, how old are you?
Exactly. I mean, yeah, I mean, seriously, if it's going to be her anniversary, they just did the wedding anniversary of Victor and Nikki a couple, what was it, 40 years or whatever? Okay. But if you're going to do something celebrating her anniversary, don't make her look pathetic. Because that's exactly what she's been looking, acting a fool, delusional, all this kind of stuff. It's not a good look.
I would like for them to, if they want to give a tribute to Phyllis, we know Phyllis for just being over the top and petty. Put her in a scenario where she can really just shine. She was never going to really shine with the Cricket and Danny storyline, because we all know how that works out in the end, and we can repeat it back and forth. But if it's an anniversary for her, give her something hot with Nick. Give us something that rings true to who she is as that character.
I was hoping. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, are they acknowledging that it's been 30 years for her?
I mean, I haven't seen anything, but obviously I'm thinking maybe Amaya saw something. I usually see and hear that type of stuff. Maybe it's coming up. I don't know. But she didn't kiss several people. She didn't kiss Tucker. She didn't kiss Nick. Of course, she kissed Danny. It's like, find this. If y'all gonna try to put her with somebody, figure out what you're gonna do and give her something to do. Now, it look like she might be out of a job too. So now, what you gonna have her do?
I feel like they haven't known what to do with Phyllis ever since her and Nick broke up.
Exactly.
She's just been floating around doing whatever random stuff.
Yep.
Whatever they do, I just hope for her 30th, I just hope it's not one of these bad, like, almost like flashback episodes where they, where they give the character a full episode. Because honestly, on both of the CBS shows, I feel like those have been kind of lackluster the last couple of years. Like these episodes where they focus primarily on the one character. Didn't they have one like for Sharon? And that one was kind of a dud. And then even on the B&B side, the one for they had one for
Sheila.
Steffy, right?
They had one for Sheila too. Well, the one they had for Steffy, it was short and quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they've been lackluster with those kind of episodes. So I'd rather not them have like flashbacks. Give them an episode where they're in current day, but have it featured. Show her like going out on a, maybe dressed to the nines, going out, deciding she's going to do something for herself instead of her chasing after Danny or, just looking desperate and childish. I would rather have them do something like that.
You're right.
Well, that is how they...
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, that is how they did Steffi's that way. I think she had, like, one little instance of a flashback when she was in her scene with Liam, but the whole episode revolved around her because it was her birthday, plus it wasn't necessarily her anniversary. It was the show's like 3,000th episode or something like that, but it heavily featured her. They did. I hate the way they did Brooks, where they made it about all the men that she had been with over the years.
I mean, but that's really the story of her life, though.
That is kind of like what Brooks is known for.
Mm-hmm.
What I was going to say, I absolutely love that Sharon episode where it was a tribute to her. It was funny. The only thing I hated was the fact that they played Adam and made it seem like she was never head over heels in love with him. It was fighting over Chelsea over him. But I would love a tribute for Phyllis in that nature. If they could do like a dedicated episode revolving around all of her foolishness, and they can make it comedic like they did Sharon, I would love that, versus them putting her in this scenario where she loses in the outcome. And she looked really petty at that restaurant. What's the name of that restaurant?
Society?
Grand Phoenix. What?
Society?
Reference to the hotel. Society?
Yeah, get that place. She was looking very, very petty in front of her child too, over this man, and for what? For what?
That's been Phyllis literally for the last 3 or 4 years, just petty and ridiculous and childish.
Yeah,
she doesn't even see it, and that's the thing. She doesn't even realize how ridiculous she looks.
Well, here's the thing is, even though she looked ridiculous and petty, she have the sharpest outfits on the show. This week, that dress, the off-the-shoulder one, I'm like, where can I find that?
That was a very pretty dress.
I know. That girl can dress her butt off. I'm wondering if she have her own stylist.
I don't know, but I was going to leave a little tidbit. I don't know if the creators of the show or the wardrobe department or whoever, they actually post what the actors are wearing on camera for each episode. And it was a gorgeous dress. She always has incredible style. That's why I'm like, this woman has a great figure, looks amazing. Yeah, she's a little cuckoo crazy, but the men in Genoa City love that. She could get a different, something to light her fire.
Yeah, and she's been left out of the loop with a lot of different things, it seems. Because she was left out of the loop when the whole situation happened at Chancellor Winters. And then she got left out of the loop about the Jordan situation when she was over there with Nick and Summer. She was like, "How come I don't get be the last one to know anything?" It was so funny.
That's Rich coming from her though, right?
Right.
Looking at how what she did last year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't understand her. It seemed like she kind of felt a way that she didn't know about the anniversary dinner, and it's like you don't even like them.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you care?
And it was what, almost a year ago, where she had that whole incident to ruin her life in that same room. And then she's surprised as to why she wasn't invited to that party with the same group of people.
Yeah, that
And
was
why
last
Summer didn't
March.
attend it.
Mm-hmm. You are right. So I don't know. I wish Danny and Christine would just, I don't know, find somewhere with
Go
them to
away.
go. Yeah, but I mean, Laura Lee Bell is the daughter of the creators of the show, so
Yeah.
she can. I guess they'll let her do what she wants.
Uh,
So
But
I
but
looked the dress up, but it
mhm.
says it's no longer available. But the website or the designer that it came from, it looks like the dresses run from like 300 to like $900.
Yeah, that's cute. It's cute though. I mean, it's cute and all, but
Not that cute.
yeah. And maybe I can find it secondhand. I love a good thrift store. Anyway,
uh,
um, yeah, and just give this girl a new storyline, something good. Now, she did mention though, and I'm wondering if y'all peeped this when Phyllis said that she have some other interesting intel about what's going on over at Chancellor Winters and how that company is crumbling. Did you hear her say that?
Yeah, when she was talking to Nick.
Yeah, when she was no, when she was talking to Daniel.
No.
I thought she said it to Nick too.
Well, I just remember the scene with Daniel, and yeah, the thing is, I'm wondering what else is going on over there, Chancellor Winters. Maybe she'll be, maybe they'll give her something else to work on. I don't know, but give her something. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it's past due for her to get her stuff together because she just been all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
She actually is probably the most powerful person at Chancellor Winters because she's a hacker. So she probably knows the finances. She probably know who owns what's going on with anything legal. She has the ability to see it all. So she
Yeah.
probably does know what's going on at Chancellor Winters.
Yeah. I was at that kind of. I was like, "Ooh, what else is going on with that Chancellor Winters?" It was good that they threw that in there, because then obviously there's some more than meets the eye. That's what's going on over there. I did see Monday's episode, and it gets real interesting in that C-suite over at Chancellor Winters. And it's
Can we?
not just about Danny and Heather's lawsuit now. So, yeah, buddy, I said they really trying to shake up things over at that company. And I mean, yeah, you guys got to see it. I hate to spoil it because it's a lot. Um, okay, I mean, in the group chat, if y'all want to chat about it, we can.
Oh, definitely.
All right. Let's get this other storyline out the way with Connor and Chelsea and Adam. Yeah.
Oh, this breaks my heart. I I was so just frustrated. First, I hate the fact that this whole medical facility is limiting the amount of communication they have with the parent, and they don't feel that it's effective for the child. But the when both Chelsea and Adam were breaking down after they were like repeatedly told it's trauma,
Mm-hmm.
like I felt for them, especially when Chelsea went back to what she was dealing with, and she having to in explaining that, and when they were running down the list of everything that child has went through, I was in tears. I'm like, oh my goodness, held at G point. I that was I that was a bit much. I'm like, this poor child, and I at that moment, I would have been on a plane and would be next to my child. There's no way, like, no, I would have overawed what Chelsea had to say if I was in Adam's shoes.
Yeah, I just they on see those two on two different pages, Adam and Chelsea. Chelsea is like, let them do what they say they're gonna do, even though it's heartbreaking that Connor is away and she wants information, but at the same time she want him to stay there. Adam is on the opposite end, like, I need to pull him out of there. Let's get him something else. Maybe we can get him somebody closer. And I agree with Adam, honestly. What do
Yeah,
y'all go ahead?
it's like, how can we trust these doctors who choose to have limited communication with us? I couldn't. There's no way I can do that. I would need a second, third, fourth opinion, especially when I'm Victor Newman's child and I can afford it. I want to make sure that he's getting the absolutely best treatment. And as a parent, I, I would feel very unease by not being able to communicate with my child. For one, being in a completely different state. They both, Chelsea and Adam, were completely foolish for that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But see, that's the thing. It's almost like Chelsea is, well, first of all, she tends to talk to Adam like a child sometimes. And then the other thing is he's letting her go ahead and say, hey. So how do you? Okay, so let me ask you guys: when you got two parents on the opposite end of this thing, which direction do you think that they should go in this situation?
Uh, I I don't know. First of all, I think it's weird that you would send your kid to across the nation to a facility that you can't hop in the car and get to him if there's an emergency or if you need to talk to him right away.
Mm-hmm.
Mixed with the fact that they also are keeping them from talking to him, like that in itself is weird to me. I wouldn't agree to that if I was either one of them.
Right.
But with them being on opposite ends of the issue, where one doesn't want him there and the other does, I don't know what compromise is there.
You know what? Here's the interesting thing about that. So I think if they knew before they took him up there that the contact would be cut off, I don't think they would have went. That happened after. Remember, they got kicked out and told them that they couldn't do it after they had admitted him. Now, me personally, I would have signed his release. If you're gonna make me leave and I can't come back here and only hear from you when you think I should hear from you, then we're not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You
agreed. And Cheryl Hines I completely agree with you. Limited communication works for people in rehab, but not with children with problems. I completely, 100% agree. That's a child. I need to communicate with my child.
Yeah.
What you got, Jay?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, because I've seen a lot of people talking about this specific storyline, and a lot of people think that this place might be a cult.
That's what I've been
And
seeing too.
I wasn't there yet. Like I wasn't really thinking that. I was thinking, maybe they really just do believe the parents are the reason for the trauma, and they're just trying to limit you know, the communication. But I'm gonna say this: seeing the little Skype interview they had with that lady this week, her vibe was just really off to me. And that's when I started to feel like, maybe the fans are right. Maybe this place is kind of a cult. She just seemed like really off. Her body language, like her mannerisms, it made me think that it possibly could be a cult. So I'm really interested to see where they're going with this. And another thing, this is just like a little side note, but I need them to quit it with this green screen because when he's outside on that bench, it looks so damn fake. And can't y'all just actually get him in a real like a room or actually film him outside on the bench? Because it really throws me off whenever they go to the scene of him sitting by himself, and you can obviously clearly see the background is fake.
Well, Jay, let me tell you, you think that green screen looked phony? Wait till you see the one on Monday with Summer and Chance.
Another green screen moment with some
Yeah,
chance, and
when
this
I
is
saw
the
it,
one.
I was like, "Whoa, that looks really bad." Y'all
Oh
could
my
have did
god.
better than that. Remember
Yes.
the green screen that they did in Paris with Ashley?
Yep.
That was
Their
weird.
green
I was
screens
like,
in
"What is
general.
that?"
Their green
This is
screens are always
CBS, for
terrible.
goodness sake. CBS, come on now.
What you say,
Um,
Keish?
their green screens are always terrible. The
Mm-hmm.
one where they did one with Cole and Victoria too, where they
Yep.
were sitting outside. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure did. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I agree with what you were saying about that, Jay. It's something off, and
Mm-hmm.
because they cannot speak to Connor, Connor can tell them, "No, I didn't say that. No, I never." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They're just basically speaking for him. They
Yeah,
don't know
Yeah.
if Connor actually said that stuff or not.
exactly. And I'm starting to believe it might be a cult, and I think Chelsea is also falling into the cult as well.
I mean, she's going
Because
along with it.
she is a very smart, level-headed woman. It's like she was a whole thief, so she knows when something is not right. But I think she's still dealing with her emotional trauma as well, and I think. I don't know. I think she's going to get herself wrapped up into this facility or the school, whatever this place is. But I do believe it has to be a cult. And my thing is, why? And we'll get to Harrison. Like, why didn't they incorporate Adam's son? Like, that would make more sense into the Jordan storyline. But oh well.
Yeah, well, I think that's just wishful thinking. A lot of stuff that makes sense to us over here, they
Yeah.
don't do. And then sometimes it seems like they listening, so who knows?
Well, Jordan probably read about Adam's history and saw that he unalived somebody when he was like 10, and then his son got issues. I told her, she said, I'm not about to let that little boy do something to me like that. So she probably said, no, I'm not going to mess with Adam or his son.
But you know what? I will say it's pretty interesting because both Chelsea and Adam, unfortunately, they both have very dark pasts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from his childhood, unaliving that guy down in Kansas, to all of the stuff that happened since when he came back to Genoa City, and then he
Mm-hmm.
disappeared when his son thought he was gone, and he came back. And Chelsea, she her whole character started on Grape when she graped Billy. You know,
Yes.
I mean, she scamming. Her mom is a scammer. Her dad is a scammer. You know, and then the whole thing, she tried to set Adam up by, almost damaging Ray in the process. I mean, both of them have a very sordid history. So I'm wondering, could maybe, I don't know if, well, they're popular. I guess they would be in the public eye because the family is public. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
wondering if that place might even know of their background and know to use that, because cults and stuff are manipulative when it comes to isolation.
Yes, and I was going to say, it sounds like when you listen to them talk about the traumatic events, it almost feels like they read about Adam on the internet. And
Exactly.
like, they're just saying, oh, yeah, you've been through some, it's been so many traumatic events in his life. Like, I don't know, it has that kind of a vibe, like they did their research on Adam.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. He's Victor Adam Newman. And it's not even just him and Chelsea, it's the whole Newman family.
Family. Yeah.
It's just nothing but drama, and it doesn't stop for any of those kids. I think all those kids are traumatized. And I keep going back to that little drawing that Nick did of like the snake when he
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, where does that anger come from? Now we know why. It's nothing but drama. And Connor is just suffering. And unfortunately, there's a lot of grown people around him that's just manipulating the situation. And I do feel it's a cold over there.
Yeah, something's going on over there. It's just weird, and I'm wondering if that's what they're going to turn that storyline into. And I'm surprised, Connor. What are they telling Connor? Because you would think that they, the kids would be. This is a big boy. He's not a little kid, a tiny, tiny kid, But I would think he'd be like, well, when do I get to speak to my mom and dad? What are they telling him on that side? Oh, well, your mom and dad, they really want you to get help. They don't really want to communicate with you until you get what you need. You never know what they telling that boy.
Exactly. And my thing is, they had the ability to use the Victor Newman jet to get him over there. I would be taking every trip, or I would just get a condo out. I would be next to my child. There's just no way to, regardless if it's a cult or not, my child is dealing with something. I'm going to be there for them. Yep. I'm going to be in the, except he's a child.
Yeah. What do y'all think about Sharon? Do you think she was a help for Adam?
Yes.
What about you, Keish?
Sure.
Oh my goodness. The coffee owner therapist. What about you, Jay? You think Sharon helped?
Well, see, I wonder, because we get the same old thing with Sharon. Somebody gets in a little bit of trouble, or like, emotionally or mentally, and then we call Sharon over, and then she comes in with her notepad and she does her few little questions, and then what happens after that? So, you know what I mean? Like, right. It just seems to be so repetitive, but do we ever really see real results?
Well, I mean, she's not even, what did they say all last week? When she was with Ashley, not practicing or something?
Ashley's author or something that said, you're not even a psychiatrist or something to that extent?
Well, I think Jack and them was saying she can give out referrals, but that's about it. I don't know. It's weird.
She's a care coordinator.
Okay.
I'm sure Ashley's author actually even took a shot and mentioned that she worked at a coffee house, didn't she? Didn't she say
something like that? Yeah, last week. Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, as a friend, I think she kind of calmed him down, but do I think, I think he talked it out himself.
TA, that's funny. TA said, Sharon, the drive-by therapist.
I was going to say she should market herself and really, she really wanted to double up her money. She should market and call herself the coffee house counselor and have people come over, come get your free cup of coffee with your, counseling advice. Like, really go ahead and make some money off of it.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand why they didn't go that direction with Sharon when they made it a point to let us know that she was in school to be a therapist, and then it's like they have her work as one. They had her stay coffee house.
She got her degree, and then she worked at the police office, and then after that she didn't really do too much with it. She counseled people here and there, but like what she did with Ashley, hey, she was a referral coordinator. She owns a coffee house. She owns First Cassidy, and then she has the drive-by therapy sessions.
Yeah.
Personalized counseling. How may I help you?
You silly.
Her own practice. Like, why not have a character like Sharon open up her own practice?
I mean, that's just like when they had Taylor over there. She had her own little office. She had a couple of people every now and then to come into the office, unless it was Brooke annoying her. But give her that as a trade instead of the coffee house, or she took on a business meeting at SNA. I don't know, whatever.
Or they could call on Taylor character to come on Y&R. I mean, I'm just going to throw it out there for Kristen Allen. CBS, please. I mean, it just makes, like, I'm surprised there isn't a therapist on Y&R.
It ain't a cop either.
No cop. Well, we saw two cops at the Abbott's house, I guess, or unless they did security, I couldn't tell.
They could have been working for Jordan.
That's a valid point.
Oh yeah, we're gonna tear that storyline apart. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to get to that one. Cause that whole thing, you mean two security teams can't do nothing.
We're gonna have to start questioning Victor's business savvy, because for all of the successful deals and the wheeling and dealing, this man can't hire a solid security team to save his life.
No, neither is Jack either. Oh my goodness. All right. We got to hit next. And there's been a lot of back and forth on social media about this and Lily, whether she was being right or being petty.
Oh, Lily's audacity? Yes.
Yes, what? She was being petty or being
petty for no reason, just stupid.
Man.
She's fed up. She's tired of playing nice, as she said herself. She's definitely petty.
That reasoning, well, he cheated on me, and that hurt my feelings, and so I deserve to have a W of some sort over here. Stop it.
The whole time she said that, I'm seeing red flashing lights. Lawsuits, like whatever. You can't fire somebody just because they broke your heart. Like, she was arguing against herself at that point. Like, that's gonna be your defense?
Now I know Keisha's sitting back waiting because she loves the pettiness. What you got, Keish?
I do. I'm still team Lily on this.
I don't
care. I don't care if it's right or wrong that she's firing them. I like the fact that she just didn't throw her hands up and basically get walked all over like they've always had her do. And that's been like the running theme, I feel like, with this storyline, is everybody has said this isn't like Lily. She's not. She's usually so level-headed. She's usually so sweet, or she's usually so nice. I'm glad that she's not being that nice, laid back, woe is me character right now. I don't care if it is stupid that she's firing them, over personal reasons, because like I've said before, they've done that on this show for decades and they never make a big deal out of it.
Okay.
They just did it to Nate this year.
I got a question for you, Keish.
Nate based on assumptions that he was trying to oust people as CEO. And it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter that, okay, yes, Victor did that, but he's also the owner of the company. That's neither here nor there for me, because wrongful termination is wrongful termination, right? So, maybe this will affect Lily because she can't control whether or not she keeps her job at Chancellor. But my issue with it is the way this show, in my opinion, has handled this whole situation when it's come to Lily. And they have literally, from start to finish, people are basically putting all the blame on Lily. It's her fault because she trusted Daniel. It's her fault that Daniel cheated on her because he just wanted his family back. Now they're spinning it to where Lily is the bad guy in the situation and making her, the petty one. And now she's getting sued and it's going to harm the company because she couldn't get over her feelings about what happened. And to me, the way they've written this whole thing to make, for one, have her be cheated on and then make her the bad guy in the situation is crappy. So I'm team Lily on this. I don't know how they're going to end this story. I don't know if she'll just lose everything. But I'm behind her in the pettiness that she's doing. I'm glad she's not just sitting back and being the nice girl.
But it has to make sense. For me, it has to make sense.
But it didn't make sense when the other people fired people for personal.
But Victor, I know you say it doesn't matter for you, but Victor owns his company. If he gets sued, if he gets sued, it won't affect him. He is the brick and mortar. He is the blueprint over at Newman Enterprises. Lily is just an employee. She has no stake in anything. Nothing. So she put herself at risk over being petty. And the thing is, she is like saying it as if she is like proud of this. I'm like, girl, you could lose your job. And I'm so glad Devon brought up the board, because I said this last week. They got Abby in that position for a reason, and I think she's going to be I think she's going to be the thing that's going to get Lily out of that company. And the thing is, it didn't have to happen. It really didn't have to happen. If anything, she could have told Daniel to work remotely. It had nothing to do with the employment. Like her, unless she put in contract, like, while I'm dating Daniel, he cannot cheat on me, otherwise he loses that company. If that's not in writing, then that for me, that's not neither here nor there, because they're just employees there.
And hold on one second, Bree. Maya Keisha said you need to see Monday, and yeah, you do.
Look, I'm not saying that I am predicting how this storyline is going to end. Like, I get it. What Lily is doing, to a lot of people, it doesn't make sense, because she's firing him based on what he did to her in their personal life. I get that. My position on it comes from a standpoint of this show using Lily, constantly using, I feel like, the Winters family in a way that they don't use any of the other families on that show.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation.
I don't care if Zach is the owner of Jabal or not. I don't care if Victor is the owner of Newman. They, for decades, have been able to do their little shady business practices, fire people, because they're pissed off that day at that individual, and get away with it. Nobody blinks an eye. But the minute something like this happens with one of the Winters kids, with Lily, they want to make this into a big production about wrongful termination and her being sued, possibly losing her job. And this started because she got cheated on. So not only did they have her get cheated on, they turned her into, I guess, the villain of the story, and made Daniel and Heather the victims, or victimized them in some way. And I hate the optics of that. And that's why this whole storyline bothers me so much. And that's why I don't care that she's being petty. I'm glad that they have her, I don't know, kind of fired up.
Okay. To your point, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I actually like seeing this side of Lily. This is kind of a side that we haven't seen from her. This is a fire we haven't seen from her, and I actually do really like it. The only thing that I don't like is the whole, what she's doing is so, technically wrong. I'm only worried about how it can backlash on her. You know what I mean? I can't even really say I'm too mad at her for doing what she's doing, but she's obviously doing it out of an emotional place. So, and it doesn't look good that she's firing him because he kind of he broke her heart or whatever. But I actually do like seeing this side of her. And you're right. So many people have done so many shady things, and they haven't gotten the backlash that she's kind of getting. Victor, for instance, didn't he let Ashlyn suffer from a heart attack and wasn't even helping him until he signed some kind of document or something like that? He gets away. Victor gets away with that kind of stuff all the time. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like they can't let this girl get a win. We're gonna put you in this relationship, then we're gonna have him cheat on you, then he's gonna lie to you for months, and then when you come back and find out, you're gonna be made the bad guy in the situation.
The only issue legally Daniel has on the standing, right? Because if you look at it from real world optics, just firing somebody because something they did in your personal life and it has nothing to do with work, that person should win. You know what I mean?
Oh, of course. I get that. I totally understand that part. But again, Victor and Jack have both done it on the show, and that hasn't happened to them. They have been allowed to make decisions based on personal situations in their businesses, and it's been perfectly fine. Everybody just washes their hands of the situation and they move on. They accept their firing and they move on to something else. And in this case, they're not allowing this to happen with Lily.
But they are the face, they are the brand, they are the brand. It won't affect them. They're billionaires. If Devon were to do what Lily's doing, that would make sense, because once again, it won't affect him. He is the cup. He is the Winters part of Chancellor Winters. Whereas
Lily is a
Lily has
figurehead.
stuff to lose.
Yeah, she's a figurehead. She's just in a. She gets a W-2 and a paycheck at the end of the year, and that's the difference when you call the shots in your business. Honestly, unless you're not breaking any federal laws or anything, you can pretty much do what you want to with your company. The thing is, in Lily's situation, she got to answer to the board, which there's a board meeting, but it has something to do with something else on Monday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it doesn't have any. I think that's part of it, but they're going to deal with the first part of something else on Monday. Um, but I mean, and then Jill is sitting right smack dab in the middle of this. She owns the majority part of the chancellor side. Technically, she's just sitting there as a person that Jill put into that position. Does that make sense? So Jill runs Chancellor, Devon runs Winters, and Lily is just the figurehead that is hired. That's the difference. Whereas with Jabot, the Abbott family own that internationally and in Genoa City. Same thing with Newman, internationally and in Genoa City. And when you own your business, as long as you're not breaking any federal or city laws, they can pretty much do what they want. And I mean, so that's pretty much why Victor got bodies. He got all types of stuff laying in his history. And at the end of the day, I'm Victor Newman. You know what I mean? So that's the difference. She's in a job. They are the owners.
Yeah, and Nikki as well. Nikki just fired Audra for basically no reason, but once again, she's part.
She's the wife of the owner.
But she has nothing to lose.
I get that, but my point is they don't have any of those characters sued. It doesn't matter if they own it. If they wrongfully terminated somebody, and they can have the character sue.
Yeah, and they can also settle out of court.
They retaliate. They didn't have Audra retaliate. They just moved on with their lives.
Yeah, it's like that case it's like that case that Victor actually did lose to his kids, where he had to shell out $500 million to each child.
Yeah, he settled it. Yep, he just paid them off.
Yeah, and I feel like they dropped the ball. I feel like they dropped the ball with their storyline a little bit, because why haven't we seen Jill at the very least, like on a little teleconference, talking to Lily, asking her what's going on? Like, why can we potentially be laid with a lawsuit? Why did you fire them? I feel like that should have happened. We should have seen Jill talking to Lily about this.
At the end of the day, I hope what happens with this is, if they do fire Lily, I hope that then triggers the whole, you know what, I don't want to be involved with the Hamilton Winters side of this company. I want our companies to separate, which was what Devon wanted in the first place. And weirdly, they had him act like he was annoyed when Billy suggested it. But I hope those companies separate, because that's another thing that has bothered me about this, is that they had to attach Devon's company to Chancellor for whatever reason, instead of just investing in that company and having them be just as powerful as the other three companies. Like, why did he have to be tacked onto that? So I'm hoping that maybe this is what sets that whole thing off, and they eventually just separate from Chancellor, so they can stop working with Billy and his little condescending attitude, and they can own their own stuff, their own family, and they don't have to deal with anybody else.
I would like to see that happen, but I would feel some kind of way if it took this for that to happen because Lily was really on some BS when Devon originally wanted to separate his company. So for her to come around and say now, I would feel some kind of way about that because she was fighting him tooth and nail when he wanted to separate his company the first time around. But because now things don't suit her, for her to come around and say, "Yeah, I think we should separate the company," I don't know if I would like it happening like that because of her.
Well, I don't.
Not necessarily Lily asking him to do it, but because Jill is pissed off at what Lily did, maybe Jill is the one that recommends it. Because
oh no, she ain't gonna do that. Her being in the position that she's in, no, she's not gonna want to do that.
I don't care how it happens. I just want it to happen because I hate the optics of them having to be with Chancellor.
Yeah, and that's why we get. That's why we get in the gates and we need it. Yeah. So yeah, the other thing is with this storyline is the fact of Billy trying to he's trying to figure out a way where he can stay around to get in where he fit in, and I don't know. Looking at Monday's episode, it's going to get real interesting with this. But yeah, I kind of agree with Phyllis that there's some stuff brewing over there, and it ain't looking good. So yeah.
We got a lot of opinions for everyone. Adam, Chelsea, the Chancellor Winters, everybody except for himself. And the thing is, I would like for Billy to hold a job position for more than a year before he can throw his weight around at any company.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
he walks up in that building as if he's been there for years. Like he didn't quit a year ago because he needed to get his life together and figure out what he wanted to do.
That man switches jobs quicker than Jordan switches disguises.
But the thing is, he got as if you play spades, he got an ace and a big joker, and that's his mother. And his mother wants him there to create leverage. So at this point, Jill's just glad that he's there along with Chance. That's the situation.
It's not even that he's there; it's the way that he talks to them. He is.
Like he running the place, right?
Yeah, just a very condescending tone of voice. Like you're not an owner. Your mom is, but you're not.
Yeah, he figured that
some more power than he does.
Yeah, he figured he's playing the long game. He eventually know that Jill is going to retire, and he would probably be next in line. That's what this is. He want to stick around. He wants to stick around long enough that when his mother, who owns Chancellor, because he'll never move up the ranks over at Jabot. It's too many people in front of him. I mean, Kyle is there. We got, Diane in whatever position she's going to be in. And, of course, Jack. So his easy way to get to owning a company will be a Chancellor. And he knows that. He's playing the long game.
He has no choice. He and Nick have the same resume. They both have the same temp service resume. And it's unfortunate that Diane was qualified more than Billy, and he's an actual abbot over her.
Well, wait a minute. He was co-CEO, but Billy walked away, remember?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he was co-CEO with Jack, and then he decided to go over to Chancellor.
So he couldn't hold that position by himself? Has he held any position by himself?
Wait a minute. What do you mean?
He's not a
Girl, listen, all three of these, both of these shows and these three companies got multiple CEOs. There's co-CEOs. It was one over at Newman. You have Steffy and Ridge over at Forrester. It's like, why y'all need co-anything?
Yeah. See, this is where we need Trish. We got Trishies with this this whole thing.
I think you said before that's not common. Like
it's not.
Yeah, I remember her saying that too.
It's multiple positions in the C-suite. You know what I'm saying? To have two CEOs, I've never seen this except in the soap opera world. I don't know. Do they do that on? I don't know if you guys watch GH or Days. Do they have co-CEOs over there?
Occasionally, maybe they might, because with the Quartermains over there at ELQ,
Oh no, I
there's
don't.
always some kind of turmoil over there.
Oh,
So I
okay.
think they may have had co-CEOs, but not as I can tell you, it's not as frequent as it is over there on YNR.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah,
I will say this: I wish, Keish, going to what you were saying, that you wish that you could see Devon take the company away. I wish Tucker would have actually succeeded in getting Chancellor, because all he wanted to do was give it to Devon anyway. I wish we could have actually seen that.
Yeah.
And then see what Devon would have done with all of that power. Because him and Tucker are truly like the rightful heirs to Chancellor. So I would have loved to see Tucker actually succeed in that, give it to Devon, and then see how Devon would have handled that.
I agree with you on that, Jay, because Tucker is technically, I mean, he's Catherine Chancellor's son. He should have been next in line over Jill, but obviously that was what was in the will. So
yeah.
Anywho, all right, we got to move on. We got to hit this storyline with Claire, Jordan, Summer, drunk Nikki. Drunk. What you say?
Dricky.
Yeah, Dricky. Drunk Nikki. First of all, what type of security teams do y'all have? I mean, this is. Jordan was I think we talked about this last week, because Jordan was hanging outside the GCAC, and you guys did not see anybody on the perimeter looking through the front door.
That conversation between Nick and Victor, that made me. I was screaming. I was laughing. They said, "Yeah, we checked with the security team. It says top flight. They checked everything. We have nothing to worry about. We're all good. Great job, Dad. We feel very secure." Meanwhile, she's just sitting right there.
Yeah.
Looking, observing. And nobody notices this short little man.
Nothing. How many people were at that front door? I remember it was Summer and Chance and somebody else standing at that door. You mean to tell me all you all standing by that front revolving door, you didn't see anybody bent over looking through the door? Yeah.
I don't even know why they make mention of having security.
Exactly.
Or security
cameras. It's all a big joke at this point.
Apparently, security cameras don't exist in soap world.
It's just a lot of unrealistic things in this particular storyline. It just doesn't make sense. And then what about, Jack is a billionaire too. Where's your security team around your house? Aren't you in a gated community or something? People got to check in. How did Jordan get in there? Up the stairs in the house with people in it. Because Tracy was there. Ashley was sleeping in the house. Kyle was downstairs. And she was able to do all that.
Jordan must have worked for the CIA or FBI at some point in her life. How is she managing to just go on and off properties, hide in and out of events, get all of this money for all this expensive costumes, wigs, hotel stays, credit card? How is she doing this? And these rich men are letting this woman slip out of her thing. I don't understand this. This makes no sense to me.
That girl is Jane Bond. The way she out here disguising, sneaking in and out, like you would have thought she was a spy.
And I'm like, they called each other and said, "Let's get our security teams together." For what? What have your security teams done for you thus far?
Thank you.
You would think you would need to regroup or rehire. You guys can afford it and get some better security. Wherever you have to go, call whomever, the governor's office. Anything but this. This made both men look very stupid.
Yeah, it's crazy. She got sleeping medicine, whatever was in that rag that put Claire to sleep. And then how did y'all get them at the house? That girl, when you talking about dead weight, now technically Claire wasn't, in that type of situation, but she was asleep. Who carried her down those stairs and to the car? Then the little boy, he wasn't screaming or nothing.
Right.
Don't tell me she drugged the little boy too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jordan has to be in her 60s or
70. 70.
And Claire, I know she's much taller than Jordan. She has to be like 5'7", 5'8", maybe. And Jordan's my height. She's 5'1". So, like, how did she manage, unless she has a team, which she can afford a team now? It's just, and both of these men are allowing this woman to just she's Carmen Sandiego. Just an all black.
Yeah, at least in Jack's defense, he's never seen her, right? Victor's encountered this woman face to face multiple times. So
had the phone number, called her back and forth. Like, they shared car rides together. They were breathing each other's air with Michael, and she's still on the loose.
Well, okay, we gotta give some of that credit to, and she even admitted it in today's episode, Nikki. Nikki keep doing stuff. I mean, if she admitted to the fact of what happened, they didn't need to go over there to that dungeon. All three, what for what? And it blew up in your face. This whole thing with that party, Victor wanted to take her out of town to some vacation. She said, nope, we gonna lure her into having our anniversary party. Did that work? Nope. And then she trying to go rogue again. Today, in today's episode, she want to use herself as bait. It's like,
again?
I think I know what it is. I think Nikki is purposefully sabotaging stuff just so she can have a reason to drink. Because every time you turn around, I just need a little taste just to get me by for the day. I'll be all right tomorrow. This woman always got some reason, that fear of Jordan, right? So if she keeps messing things up and keeping Jordan out there, she has an excuse to drink. That's what it's all about for Nikki.
And please explain something to me, how this woman is drinking on her own property. There's no security cameras in the house, around the property. She was drinking right in front of Victoria's house.
Well, let me ask you this, Bree. Remember, she showed up drunk over at Jack's house. How did you drive yourself there? Because she said, I drove past 2 or 3 bars and I happened to stop. You driving buzz drunk? I mean, buzz, what they call it, buzz driving.
Tipsy or something like that. But still wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That girl drove past 3 bars. What was she doing? Goldilocks? This one is too small. This one is too big. This one is just right.
Shut up, Jay. Oh, man. I mean, this child here is just running. I mean, and the whole thing with Jack. Jack is lying to Victor. Oh yeah, she's fine. I'm glad I'm her sponsor. That girl need rehab.
Yeah, his reaction to her showing up in his house, tipsy, was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, the woman is drunk. She's making it seem as if she can control it, but yet she's showing up to your house tipsy, and there was, I didn't feel like there was a real reaction from Jack. It was almost like, oh, it's okay. I won't do it again. And it's like, no, she needs to be in rehab. You need to call Victor right now. Tell him to come pick her up and drive her ass to a rehab center.
Go ahead, Keith.
Because how many chances are they going to give her?
Exactly. And then, did you hear?
Did Jack slap her in the 90s when in those flashback scenes? Did he actually slap her, like try to slap some sense into her?
Oh, I don't remember that.
I was gonna say he need to now.
I don't know about that. We ain't talking. No.
Careful, Jay. Careful, Jay.
Um, what I was gonna say. Oh man, I forgot my thoughts. That threw me off.
Sorry, T.
Like, hold on, we're not gonna talk about none of that over here. Um, but yeah, I don't know. He's sitting up there like you said. He's all calm. He should have been like, you drove here,
Right. He's way too nonchalant about it.
called Victor, and I mean, how did she wander off the ranch for some? Jordan is on the loose. Why are you just driving aimlessly, passing 3 bars? She always talking about how she's in fear of Jordan, but you show up at work, you show up at Crimson Lights, you just roaming the streets.
Yeah.
Both her and Claire.
But, exactly.
It's like Steffy when she keeps saying she's scared of Sheila, but she keeps going to her apartment.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I don't blame Summer. Like I blame all the Newmans. Like they allowed all this to happen. She's the only one who stayed firm about when it came to Jordan and when it came to Claire. I still don't trust Claire.
You do not like Claire, girl.
I don't.
At all.
It's the same thing for me. Like with Diane, it's just something about those two. Like with Claire, like it's. I feel like she could switch up at a drop of a hat, especially since she got all this redemption, escaped from facing any jail time, went to a mental facility, came out, lives in a big mansion, able to go to parties, and I don't know. And the fact that we haven't seen Claire at all, that makes me wonder what they're gonna kind of deal with her going forward. I'm hoping it can just make the switch and say, okay, Claire's turn.
Oh, you know they're gonna put her with Kyle. Kyle is fighting for this girl.
Yeah. I'm like, you don't know her. You don't know her. You
even
had coffee.
Even Cole and Victoria. Like I get it that that's their daughter and they want to think the best of her, but in actuality, you guys have only known her for a few months. So for Cole and Victoria to stay in Summer's face, like, she would never do something like that. She would never hurt a child. She would never kidnap. She would never blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you guys don't really know her. You just met the real Claire a few months ago. So Summer is valid in the way that she feels. And it's like they were trying to invalidate her feelings about the situation because they want to think the best about Claire when they really don't know who Claire is. Of course, we as the audience know what's going on, but they don't.
Yeah, I guess I'm on both sides with this one because you can't invalidate what Summer is feeling, but you also can't, invalidate what they're feeling about their own biological child. I mean, they don't know her. I mean, Summer don't know. Neither of these people known anything about who Claire was until, like you say, a few months ago. But they feel some kind of way about their daughter, and Summer feels some kind of way about her cousin. And somewhere along, it'll come out in the wash, but go ahead.
Victor said, I'm sorry.
Mm-mm.
I was going to say, Victor said probably the stupidest thing to Summer. He says, if I let her in my house, then I can trust her. I'm like, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Right. You let a lot of people come in and out of your house. You have no idea what's going on with your own wife, but and the ins and outs of your house all of a sudden with the worst security in history in television.
So let me ask you guys about this, because when Nikki showed up over to Jack's, and you had Diane sleeping down there, Tracy, they were all sleeping on the couch. He was finna sneak off somewhere and go to talk. Diane looked like she was about to jump up and be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Where you going?
I would have too.
Huh?
I would have too.
Yeah, I don't blame her. We in the midst of a crisis. And now, and my grandson is missing. And my husband, his grandfather is trying to go off and console this woman who should be across town with her own husband.
Right.
Yeah, that's wild.
That is crazy to me. And he still figured out a way to go sit out on the terrace to talk her down and all this old kind of stuff. And she's still drinking.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, come on. And then Ashley, that was funny. Ashley's like, "What's wrong with you?" And then she was like, "Well, what's wrong with you?" And Jack is like, "Well, how about we not talk about what's wrong with the other?"
Yeah, because she started asking questions about Ashley, and it's like, you got your own stuff to be worried about, trying to be in somebody else's business, Nikki.
She shouldn't even be over there.
Right.
At all. And I was surprised all this stuff was going on, and they said Ashley was just sleeping upstairs. I'm like, she was in a really good sleep. Okay.
I think, remember, Tracy said she took a sleeping pill. Yeah, Tracy said, remember, it was the end of last week that she took a sleeping pill. So she was
Oh, okay.
out.
Okay.
Yep. All right, we got to talk about Summer because some people, like I know Keisha was saying that she, her reaction. Some people were saying her reaction was overreacting.
Overreacting to her child being missing?
I don't know if they meant the acting part of it or what.
I kind of get what they were saying. There was a couple of scenes where I was like, okay, you overacting this a little bit. But I also think her reaction towards Kyle is a bit much because he was new to the whole Jordan scenario. And yes, he should have never invited Claire in. But he misses his child just as much as she does. So I feel like she was, being a little bit aggressive towards him, but she has every right to react the way she is with the family. Like, hey, you let this person in, and then Jordan's around because you let this other person into our family, and she's done such and such and such. So I'm on Summer side, in my opinion. It's I would freak out too. I would be very upset, but the actress did overact in a couple of scenes,
What about
in
you
my opinion.
in your opinion? Okay. Keisha and Jay, what do y'all think about? Do you think she was too hard on Kyle?
You can go first, Keish.
I thought that I get why she was pissed off at Kyle, because you let this woman go upstairs with our son to read him a bedtime story. And again, you don't know her like that. Y'all aren't dating. I don't care how nice she was to Harrison in front of everybody else. That shouldn't have happened, especially with her background. And again, she's pretty much a stranger. So I get why she was pissed off at Kyle. I do think she was a little bit too hard on him because he's also experiencing his child being missing too.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't think she needed to say to him, "This is on you. This is your fault." Like, I think she told him that, like, what, 3 or 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I did feel bad for Kyle in that way, but I also get that Summer she's upset. She's a little hysterical right now, and she's angry because she feels like people were just too open when it came to Claire. Like, everybody just accepted her with open arms. No, like, grace period of, we need to get to know this girl before we let her get too close. None of that. So, and then also, she was like, she made a point where she said she had brought Harrison's little bunny to the house. She was like, I was still at the party. Why didn't she just give it to me?
Yeah, that part I thought that was pretty interesting because she looked at Summer and then decided to take it anyway and sneak out of the party and just go over there. So what was, even if just say it wasn't anything to do with Jordan, what was her real motive? To get next to Kyle?
I think she's crushing on Kyle, so I think it was to go to the house to talk to him. I think that's all it was, but I could see from Summer's point of view why it would look suspicious. If I was standing right there in the dining room, why didn't you just give it to me so I could take it to my son? Like, why did you need to leave the party to go take it to him and do it like that very moment, that night?
Yeah, I
But
mean, obviously they had to figure out a way to move this storyline to get Jordan over to the house to do this, whatever. Because that's how Jordan ended up over there, because she followed Claire over there somehow.
yeah,
But it was weird because, like, if the mother of the child is right there, give it to the mom. Why did you have to circumvent the mom to go and deliver it yourself? What do you want? Cool points?
right. So
And
I mean, that easily adds to Summer's suspicion right there.
And it would actually be cool points to hand that to Summer since she's trying to quote unquote have a nice relationship or a civil relationship with her cousin. So why go all the way over to Kyle's house unless it was for a setup? Like and that was the whole thing. When they spelled the whole thing out about the truck and the florist, and I'm like, all of this was going on. Like all of this was perfectly timed. If Jordan was bold enough to poison herself, I wouldn't be so shocked if Jordan was bold enough to poison Claire and Claire being on it. Like
well,
that.
when you see it on Monday, there's a totally different accomplice. I'll just drop that. So,
Oh.
yeah. And it's a dude.
Is he good looking?
No. I mean, I don't want to say that, but he's just like a average guy.
I
So,
got you. Okay, I got
yeah. So she had help, and Victor is about to pay him $100,000 for the information on everything, or make his life a living heck. So, spoiler alert.
What is Jordan's end game? Like she had a whole out. She could have had 10 million, a house in France. I would have been and left. Like there's just
She crazy.
it's just not worth worrying about a petty relationship. It had nothing to do with her. It was her sister's ex.
I mean, she stole a whole child and raised it for 25 years for the purpose of revenge.
Wait a minute.
So,
Girl, listen, did you see how she was talking to Harrison, talking about I'm your Aunt Jordan now?
Oh boy.
yeah.
I was so angry. I wanted to reach out. I wanted to grab by the jugular. I hate when they do scenes like that with kids sometimes. I mean, great acting, great acting. I love Calling Zink. But that scene, that was just great acting. I'm like, that poor baby. I'm like, I hope she's feeding it. Like, I'm like, oh, this is just such a mess. And I blame the Newmans. I blame Nikki and I blame Victor. That woman was in their reach by phone. They were breathing the same air. There should be no reason why Jordan's still moving around after months and months and months now. It's April.
I'm wondering, did she actually think that she was going to raise this boy? It's just like
I
she
think
tried.
so.
Yeah, but she's 70. I mean, what, to take care of him?
Well, what is he, about 8?
He's 7.
So she 7. So
Yeah.
she couldn't think, because I was thinking about this as we was talking. I was thinking to myself, could you imagine if they actually did let her keep this boy and they disappeared for like another 25 years, like she did with Claire? That would put her in her 90s. He would be in his mid to late 20s. So he would be in his teens when she's like in her 80s. So he could like pretty much take care of himself as a late teen or whatever. They're not obviously going to do that, but that would be wild if they actually did do that.
Yeah, I'm like, well, so I'm your Aunt Jordan. Your parents don't want you anymore. And I'm like, really?
That was.
Yeah, I know that didn't sit well with you, girl. Yeah.
Yeah. And my thing is, why did they incorporate the Abbotts into this Jordan storyline? I don't like that, and that's why I was like, they could have, if for the storyline purposes, why wasn't Adam's son incorporated in the storyline? Because they're pretty much mirroring one another. The Harrison storyline and kind of the thing that Connor's going through is like it's the whole cult sort of thing, and it would have made sense, especially since they left Adam out originally
Mm-hmm.
of this whole Jordan scenario. This would have been a way for him to bring him in, and it could have been Connor instead of Harrison. I just don't like the fact that Abbott's or hard it is. It just looks really messy, in my opinion. The writing just looks really messy because it's like it makes no sense.
I don't know if they. Go ahead, Jay.
Oh, I was going to say somebody had actually spoke to that when you was mentioning it earlier, and they said something that made sense. The reason why they probably didn't do the Carter thing is because they had to incorporate Claire into this specific situation, and they were like, well, if they did it with Carter, Adam would have never let Claire around Connor anyway, so that wouldn't have worked. Because I think part of this is to make Claire look like she's, because Summer absolutely believes Claire kidnapped him. So that's, that wouldn't have worked if they would have did it with Carter. So they wanted to have this conflict that Summer has with Claire being a part of this. So that's why it works better with Jordan taking Claire and Harrison, because you got to incorporate the whole Summer aspect into it, her not liking her or trusting her. So that's why it works as far as them having her take Harrison.
Well, the other reason too is because they had that collab with that mental health place that's outside of the show. So that's a total separate storyline to collaborate with that institution for childhood mental health. So unless they would have incorporated Harrison instead in that whole collab. But yeah, I guess that's why they decided to have a carve out storyline just for the Connors, because his parents and that whole, it fits. He come from two parents that really we just talked about, have really dark paths.
Exactly.
So it technically works if they're going to use that collab as a way to connect the storyline. So
exactly. Like it was, I feel for me, I feel it's a missed opportunity writing wise, because that would make sense, and they could have said that Jordan grew up at that same facility, and that's why she was always, I don't know. But oh well. I'm just more upset at the fact that Victoria was really trying to come down on Summer, and I'm like, you only known this girl for a few months, but you trust her, but you can't give your brother the benefit of the doubt still to this day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So the question remains, what does this guy know? Because they're willing to pay him handsomely next week to get the details on this. But the problem is Nikki's still trying to go rogue. And it's like, and Nikki needs to sit down somewhere.
Nikki needs her husband to get on his job. Why is he rich and he's slipping like this? This is not how you play Monopoly. You have, you're rich. Have a private investigator. At this point, follow your wife. If anything, for her safety, so she's not driving drunk. It's just ridiculous. She should be in rehab by now.
Yep. And see, the problem is they let Nikki call the shots. Nikki been going rogue. Nikki has been telling both Victor and Jack how this whole sponsor thing should go. And then every time, Victor try to say, hey, I don't want it to go this route. Oh, I need this to help me with my sobriety. And then he like, okay, all right. It's like, at what point is he going to say it's not working? But he don't even know that the girl is still drinking. Only people that's knowing that she's drinking is Jack and Lauren. And it's interesting. Lauren must be zipping from L.A. to Genoa City like every day.
Right. She got a private too, and she got a stylist. She's just...
Girl, I got something to say about Lauren on the bold side, because she said something real crazy to Deacon. That was hilarious.
Ooh, I know what you're talking about too.
Did you hear it on my recap? I kind of talked about it yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like, really, Lauren? Okay. You in the middle of this whole thing. Anyway. Did we cover everything on The Young and the Restless? Because I know we did an hour and a half on it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much sums it up.
I think so. Because Ashley didn't get a lot this week. We get a new altar next week from her.
Oh my God.
A new what? Yeah.
A new altar.
I saw that preview.
Yeah, well, she talking country.
Mm-hmm.
She country.
Yeah, she talking country. Okay, I'm trying to go through. We talked about Chancellor Winters and all of them. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we did cover everything. All right. So how many people we got on that side? I can't see the number.
We got 120 tonight. It's been going up. Thank you guys so much.
All right, thank you. So make sure that you hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. There is a blog on Medium. We're on TikTok, IG, Threads, Facebook, and YouTube. And so you can catch content across the board. And X. I forgot about X. On X too. So yeah, make sure you try to catch up with Rumble too. Make sure you try to catch us on all those social media platforms, and of course every Friday night we do this live. And I gotta say shout out to all of my co-hosts over here today. We get Jay, Bree, Keish. Trish, of course, is not here because she had some other things to take care of today. And shout out to the people on the Spotify side who keep coming back faithfully for the last 4-5 seasons. Those are the OGs, and I always talk about the YouTube side. The OGs, about almost 300 of you guys across the globe. And I mean, 300 might not be a lot compared to 7 billion, but it's enough that they have definitely been supporting the Spotify side of the world. So I appreciate all of you who are listening over there as well. And on the Apple podcast as well. So, yep, we're everywhere. All right. So, without further ado, we got to talk about Bold. And, I mean, it's been pretty. We got two storylines and two possibles, I guess, because Liam been floating. So... All right, let me give y'all the summary and then we'll break down Bold. All right, for the week of the 15th through the 19th, Luna confesses to RJ. Carter lectures Zende for sleeping with his cousin girlfriend. After Zende worries that RJ might not be forgiving, a very furious RJ bursts in and punches him across the desk. Poppy can't stop Luna from rushing to Forrester while Deacon questions Finn about sugar. And let's see. RJ tells Luna he doesn't know if they even have a future. And Lauren is shocked when Deacon asks about sugar. And Deacon realizes Sheila is alive after Lauren tells him the story of sugar. So, I gotta say, first of all, Liam been rotating conversations between Hope and Steffy. And he had the same conversation he had with Steffy last week. He kind of had that same conversation with Hope, saying, I'm just going to focus on being a dad. Especially after Hope said that she loved Thomas, so.
I need for Liam to stop telling these lies. He's going to focus on work. He's never at work. He says he'll focus on being a dad. We only seen him with his kids a couple of times. We know he's missing in action because he's forever trying to hand a rattle or a blanket or something to whatever these women and just sitting there and having conversation. He needs to stop telling this lie to people that he is focusing on himself. He's just focusing on a new place to stay.
What y'all think, Keish and Jay?
You can go on, Jay.
Yeah, I don't see why he keeps. At this point, he's like overstating it. Like they've heard it enough. Just go ahead and be about it. Stop talking about it. So, but you know how it is. Liam loves to like say certain things to get in people's head, and it's just the typical behavior that we're used to from him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's brand new now. He has epiphanies and he realized he's a terrible husband and he's a serial cheater and he wouldn't even recommend himself for his daughter. So I guess this is his new campaign to get back with these women now that he's trash, and I guess he's expecting for one of these women to coddle him or something.
Were you gonna say something, Keish?
I'll give Liam credit for admitting and acknowledging his trash behavior again. Because like I said last week or the week before, whenever that was, I want to see a pattern with Liam of him actually following through with what he's saying and concentrating on himself and his girls, his daughters, and not just stating it in one or two conversations that he has with Steffy and Hope. So like the next time that he talks to Steffy, I don't want to hear him trashing Finn. And the next time him and Hope talk, I don't want to hear him trashing Thomas. Like, that conversation needs to stay out of his mouth. Because if you're focused on yourself and your daughters, then you don't need to be worried about their husbands, their significant others. Not in the way that you are, because he only brings it up to be petty. We know why he brings it up with Steffy, and we know why he brings it up with Thomas. And I'm not saying that he's got to accept Thomas and forgive Thomas for the things that he's done to him in the past. If Hope wants to do that, that's on her. He doesn't have to. But every conversation I feel like he has with one or the other, he's got to take a jab at Thomas. He's got to take a jab at Finn. So when he stops doing all that nonsense and can just talk to them as a co-parent or whatever friend, then I'll start to buy that Liam is changing his stripes.
I have a theory. Because it's been a while for Liam. As far as we know as the audience, do you think that he's just trying to get in where he can fit in and it's a familiar place? Mm-hmm. It's been almost a year, so maybe he's just saying whatever.
I mean, it's possible,
It would be an interesting twist if he's saying all this just to get these women wrapped around his finger again, and then we see like a whole evil side to Liam saying, "I still got it," but just villain mode. I would love to see that for Liam, but what direction could they go in with this guy?
Yeah.
Well, we know at the very least the bashing of Finn is going to continue, because with the Sheila revelation, when she's back in the picture, he's going to be right back to telling Steffy to leave Finn again, and bashing him. So that's going to come back. We know that's happening.
Yep, I agree. Rachel said, "Once a puke, always a puke." Oh my goodness. What did y'all think about that scene today with him? I think he getting out of the shower, Finn, or was he coming from swimming?
He said he just got done swimming.
Oh, okay. And he had his muscles and his 8-pack showing, and she told me, "I'll just come over here, check on you, see how you doing." I wonder what that conversation would look like if Steffy was home.
Hope wouldn't be there.
He was covering her eyes when Finn came out.
I mean, because she was definitely checking out his chest and abs. Come on now.
It's hard to miss. But the fact, like, she took time out of her work day just to pop up over at Steffi's house, and she knew Steffy was at work too.
Well, remember, Thomas isn't there designing for her anymore, so what is she doing at work? She don't do nothing. Thomas does all the designing, so she got plenty of time to come over.
She already said that I'm going to go ahead and take this L on Hope L Logan, and hope for the future is down the drain because I messed it up. So maybe she's trying to land herself a doctor now. I don't.
This looked like another Kim test to me. And then at the end of that scene, when she said that she just wanted to check on him, they ended the scene before the commercial with him looking all startled and smiling. I'm like, what is that?
They're trying to force this to us, and I'm like, where is J Matt? Where is Thomas at?
I mean, honest. Okay, so let's look at the swap going on right here. If Steffi gets mad enough because, like, I think that was Jay saying, with the Sheila situation, that Liam is gonna be back on his whole soapbox about Finn, and then Finn is missing his mom because he still didn't answer that question that Deacon asked him. About whether, huh? What you say, Keish?
I said he keeps bringing it up too.
Exactly. So you must feel some kind of way, even though you're talking about, well, it doesn't matter. She's gone. It does matter because when she's back, what you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
And if you know Steffi, I don't care if she realized she did unalive Sugar, she don't still want to be around Sheila.
All right.
So what you gonna do? Are you gonna cut her off again, or this is the writers wanting to put a redemption in fans' eyes to Sheila, which means that's gonna put a rift in his marriage. And if I don't know, because Ivy's coming on the scene, I don't know if Ivy's coming back for him
Ooh,
or for Thomas.
that would be new and fresh, Finn and Ivy. I mean,
No, I don't think Ivy coming for Finn. She either gonna be coming for Thomas or Liam, right?
Well, if Liam moves back towards Steffi, because I don't, like you said, I don't buy what Liam is selling. Because I can guarantee you, if Steffi open up that door, he gonna walk right on in it.
Oh yeah.
He's been pining after her for months, and then all of a sudden you're gonna be like, "Oh, I just want to be here I'm gonna be a dad." Okay, cool, but yeah, if she gonna open up the door, you gonna walk right in. So if
Gonna pop her slide right up in there.
exactly, so the thing is that if this put a divide between Steffi and Finn, and Liam goes over to Steffi, he's a free man right now. Thomas comes back because we know Thomas ain't gone. He probably just did a hiatus like Ridge did last year for a little bit. He comes back. Are they going to have him pick up with Hope again? Because she don't look like she missing Thomas right now. I mean, she say, little things, but, she's just like, Because remember that conversation she had with Liam? She had to ask herself some questions. Why was I in this relationship? You know why you were in that relationship, because you were getting eggplant. Stop it.
Grade A eggplant.
eggplant. That's pretty. That's descriptive.
Well, I mean, just hey, it's a vegetable, so that's the best reference. I didn't want. I could say vitamin D. So
No, I was thinking about the. Never mind. I'm like, okay, Thomas, good for you.
He was putting her in a vegetative state, so
yeah, exactly. Exactly. She's sitting up there talking about I had to reassess and think, why did I get in that relationship? You had been fantasizing disco fantasies about being on top of that man. So stop it.
Exactly. I think it's out of sight, out of mind. I think if he were to show up back in LA, walk into Force of Creation, she'd be all over him and then trying to get back with him.
Okay, then Finn is still out there if Steffi put distance between him. So is that where Ivy could be going to?
It could be interesting. I mean, it would give a little bit of a shake up versus, some of the predictable storylines, we're used to. But I mean, throw her in the mix with these guys. She can go try to go get back with Liam. It's a lot of things he can really do with Ivy, but for Thomas to come back and be in Hope's face, I think that would be more than enough for her to just focus and zero back in on trying to get Thomas back. But being that he's not there is out of sight, out of mind. So now she's saying this. Now all of a sudden she can reflect on her choices, which she really didn't do much. She pointed the finger Um, but if he came back, that would change things, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm curious at how they're gonna utilize Ivy, and I know there's conversation in the chat about Thomas and Ivy. They are not blood related.
I saw that
Thomas,
comment too. You
yeah,
saw Gail Lewis's comment?
yeah. Thomas is a Maroney technically. He's a Forrester by Ridge being adopted. I think by what I think he was a
Illegal. I
yeah
think they said
legally being his legal son, but they are not blood related. Ivy is Eric Forrester's niece.
Yeah,
So
she's his brother's daughter. And by
right.
Eric not being Ridge's biological father, that means any of his kids are not blood related to Ivy.
Yeah, and they have kissed before in the past, so
But T, do you know, is Ivy back on contract?
I don't know. I keep seeing short term and all these different things. So it may sweep start next Thursday. So a lot will be revealed starting this coming week with the storylines ramping up to hit the sweeps month. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. I would think I was when was she there? It was like the end of March. So they're about 4 weeks ahead, which would put us about the end of April going into May. So we should hopefully get to see her soon.
Okay.
Yep. But I'm just curious how they're going to utilize her. What for? I mean, if they did put her in Finn's direction, then that like Bree said, that would be fresh and new.
And I would actually would love for Bridget to come back. I was so upset that it didn't bring her back and utilize her, because the chemistry that she had with Finn,
I know, right?
writers, producers, Brad, whoever could please listen, please,
Did you see
please.
that connection that they had in the operating room? And then she put her
Yes.
hands on he put his hands on her back, and I'm like, what? Okay, I
And,
would be down with seeing what happens with that.
and the photos that they took, the little screenshots that they
Mm-hmm.
took, you can see the chemistry in the screen. Why did they not bring Bridget back? And plus, she's a doctor. We can see hospital scenes. She can interact with Lee. See how we can
Girl, they could
help.
have got busy in one of them rooms at the hospital or something, and Steffi
Yeah.
walked in. Oh my God, whatever.
And we've never seen her interact or have animosity with Brooke's other child.
Mm-mm.
So that'd be very fresh. And I mean, yeah, let's see how 2024 is going to go.
Yeah, and these sweeps months, because February sweeps was trash to me, and November was kind of weak too.
I
So
forgot about Feb sweeps. What
yeah,
was it?
because majority of it was RJ and Luna. The at
And Steffi unalive.
But that was the last week of the month. That was like February the 24th, and but the first 3 weeks of the month was all RJ and Luna, and Zende. Yep. And it sucked. And then we got slammed at the end of the month with the Sheila thing. So
We
hopefully,
love Sheila.
huh?
We love Sheila
I
though.
know we do, but it's just the way that they set up the sweep months. I
Right.
mean, they should have had that. What we're seeing with this sugar and all this stuff, this should have been the whole month of February. We shouldn't have to go through 3 weeks of that whole RJ and Luna storyline.
Yeah.
And I mean, February is it was a leap year. We got an extra day that month, but still. Um, anyway, back to this week. Yeah, so I thought that was just pretty interesting how they put Hope in a scene with Finn with his shirt off, and I just come over to check up on you, and then she's looking up and then down and then up, and then I'm like, I see you
She was
check.
checking all right.
Yeah, she was checking on him, all right.
Just thirsty. My goodness.
Yeah, they keep chem testing these two. It's just like,
I don't see it.
And not, yeah, exactly. I don't see it the way I saw it with he was interacting with Bridget. It's just
Yeah,
like it's
that was good right there. I think we see it more with Bridget because it would be great to do. You know what I mean? Instead of force feeding us little clips of Hope and Finn. I mean, her sitting across that funeral with her chest open. You know.
I don't know. Ashley Jones is nominated for an Emmy. Maybe
I
they might
know.
bring her back.
That would be
Hopefully.
nice. She was instrumental in that whole Eric storyline. So,
Hmm.
all right, we can move it along. Let's talk about um, Deacon, Lauren, and that whole situation. That poor man, he's trying to tell everybody that can listen to him that he saw 10 toes, and ain't nobody caring about them 10 toes.
And he needs to learn how to kick people out because he's not. The thing is, he's not going around, saying it. People are showing up to his job,
Right.
telling him what to do and how to feel, and he's not doing this. He's like, look, if you're gonna come to me here, this is what I think. This is what I saw. It is what it is. I'm not gonna stop this. Okay, but how many people are going to keep coming to this man? Rich, Steffi, Finn, now Lauren. It's like, come on, leave this man alone. If you want him to just forget about Sheila, okay, let that man do that in his own time. But you guys cannot say he's doing anything if you guys are showing up to his job saying that he's spreading rumors. Y'all came to the restaurant.
Exactly. He's not just running around Forrester yelling at people, oh my God, I saw 10 toes. They coming over to him.
Like, you need to stop this, Deacon. It's over. And then still order food at the same time. Like, can I get my takeout order? Like, come on.
That's crazy.
Just so he's good enough for food, but you guys can't just leave this man alone. And that's just the moral of him and Sheila's story. It's like he's done his job and he's
Mm-hmm.
grieving. And not to say that Sheila's an angel. She's not an angel, but he, like, just leave this man alone. That's all I'll say.
Exactly. Exactly. Then Lauren, what I was talking about earlier when I wanted to say about Lauren, Deacon asked her, so how's things in Genoa City? She said quiet. And I'm like, you got Jordan running around, you working at a job technically to help Nikki when you should be working over at Jabot. Yes, a lot going on in Genoa City. Did y'all catch that?
Yeah, I'm like, why did she tell those lies? Nikki is flying off the hand. And the thing is, he knows all the people there, so they really could have had a real conversation if they wanted to. Plus, she's in LA, so he's not gonna go in Genoa City and just tell everybody. Say that Lauren said this. So yeah, I don't understand Lauren, but
What also I don't understand is the continuity of both shows. I mean, you got her hanging out over in Genoa City at the same time in LA. It's weird. You know, it's like, are you taking 5 minute trips out to LA and then back and then forth and then back? It's like, it's different when they have people over on the other side of the show. You don't see them for a while on the opposite show. But she's all week. She's been on the Young and the Restless, and she's been on Bold the last few days and last week. So,
yeah, I thought that was weird too.
Lauren was Starship Enterprise teleported from the show.
Beat me up, Scotty.
Beat me up, Scotty.
That's why her hair, makeup, everything was always put together. She blinks, she's in the new city.
Oh my God! I know it's like what was it? I Dream of Jeannie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what she. I Dream of Jeannie. Next thing you know, she show up over at with Nikki in her front room. I've been waiting for you. I met you over here.
I would
Oh,
actually honestly prefer Lauren over at Bowl. She's got more to do, it seems, as Sheila's in the picture.
right.
For real.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yep, I agree. And then we got to see a little bit of Eric having some conversation. Cause he was trying to say Deacon loved that woman, and Lauren was like, I don't see why. None of these people can understand why Deacon likes Sheila. But we've seen that side. I think, well, I mean, what do you think about that, you guys, right quick? Do you think all she wanted is just to be loved?
Yeah, I think that's a huge part of her character. I don't know how much they've shown of her childhood or how much they've mentioned her childhood, but it feels like it's implied that she had a bad childhood, right? Like her mother didn't show her much love, things like that. And yeah, so I feel like a lot of her angst and jealousy and which led to a lot of her rage is it all stems from her, wanting to be loved.
I agree with that. That's probably part of it. And then she just do these horrible things over the last 30 years. So it was a nice little clip to kind of give folks a history lesson between the whole thing with her, Lauren, and Sugar.
Yeah, I like that flashback.
Did you like that flashback, Keish? Because I know you normally don't like flashbacks.
I don't like the shows where they do flashbacks. I don't mind if there's a flashback here and there, and just like in a regular episode. So I didn't mind it because it wasn't like an entire show of flashbacks.
Gotcha. Yeah, but I mean, at least he kind of put two and two together because she was about to walk out on him, and Lauren, he was like, "Please tell me about this Sugar person," which is what we've been talking about this for the last 2 months. So I think the fans kind of spoiled it for themselves because everybody like, "Oh yeah, there's a doppelganger out there," So, all right, y'all ready to talk about? Unless y'all had anything more on Deacon, no.
No, they didn't say 10 toes to death. I'm good.
I know, right? I know, right? That's all he been talking about. Then we got RJ, Luna, and Zende. And Carter tried to talk some sense into Zende. And I gotta say, though, and I mean, RJ did say this too, and I think we might have been saying this over the past few months as well. Even though that girl was in your bed saying, come here, you still knew that she was in a relationship. You might not know that she was under the influence, but you knew that that was your cousin girlfriend. Should he proceed go, or should he stop and run and tell RJ?
I was a little bit upset that they completely forgot the fact that this man was drunk from a party. And they wrote that into like the very first couple of scenes after that interaction he had with Luna after that she realized that she just cheated on RJ. Like they said that Zende was drunk, and then now all of a sudden he's supposed to have realized while he's intoxicated who he was with. That's the I'm like,
well, he did know that it was Luna.
Okay. Well, I mean, I hate that they did this.
I hate they did this. I just, because this man is getting flack right now.
And from Carter of all people. I was so upset with my Carter.
Oh, really?
I was angry. I was so mad. I'm like, the nerve. He is cheater, pumpkin eater, Miss Cecilia girl. If anybody should have an opinion, it should not be him.
Yeah, I mean, he was just with Paris, what, a year and a half ago or whatever it was?
And he had the nerve to say, Zende, you should be in RG's position. He's been in RG's position because of you.
This man forgot that he had his boss's wife's legs wrapped around his waist and pinned against the wall.
Exactly. Oh, there you go. There you go. That. Hey, by the way, that video is on my IG. Go ahead. But yeah, I mean, he should be the last one to talk. The last one. But what did you think about? Because I know, Bree, you were saying that he was tipsy, okay? But he did know that was Luna. But do you think he was drunk enough not to go back and tell RJ? Is that what you're saying or no?
Yeah, the way they wrote it, and initially they saying that he was drunk and they had plenty of champagne from the party. They said he was like stumbling in, like I'm paraphrasing the scenes that Zende and Luna had together initially before she left to go be with RJ. It was, they made it seem like he was intoxicated when this happened. And he was, when you're intoxicated, you're feeling things. She's a pretty girl in your bed. Yes, it's wrong. But I think if he was himself, he would not just taken advantage of the fact that his Luna was just in his bed. He would have gotten RJ, or he would have probably stayed in the main house, because we know how Zende's character is. He wouldn't have just, the way they're saying it in the scripting is it making it seem like he took advantage of the opportunity. And initially when they wrote it, they made it seem like he was just tipsy and she was inebriated, two inebriated people just hooked up together.
So Melissa Spencer has an interesting comment. She says Zende made a pass at Luna at Eric's party and she turned him down. So what would make him think that she would just change her mind a few minutes later?
And that's why this looks so bad for him. And that was one of the things that RJ even said when in their argument. He was like, I can't remember the exact words he said, but he told her she wasn't interested in you. She told you she wasn't interested in you. And then I think Zende even acknowledged, God, I wish I could remember. So I feel like Zende even acknowledged towards the end of their argument that she never, like, basically came to his advances. Because I remember thinking to myself, you just said that, but then you slept with her. And afterwards, you made passes at her again.
Yeah, because I think, Keish, wasn't it one scene after that happened where he was begging her to be with him?
A couple.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next day after they both woke up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other thing to me, to where he can't even really use the excuse that he was drunk or tipsy or whatever, because when he woke up next morning, he was still fine with what he did. It wasn't until Luna realized that she didn't remember what happened, or that she thought he was RJ, I should say, that he started freaking out, because he thought, she was thinking that he took advantage of her in some way. But until that happened, it was like it didn't bother him that he had slept with Luna, that he slept with his cousin's girlfriend.
Okay. Did y'all see Aditya said that Eric did something similar with Brooke?
Oh, I guess she might be talking about the whole,
That
Brooke was with Reg, and then Eric eventually got with her.
But I think she was saying, it says both times Brooke was taken advantage of by Eric and she was unaware, and it led to 2 pregnancies of Rick and later Bridget. Y'all know what she's talking about?
Well, I'm actually watching the season 7 now, so I just watched this. So with Bridget, that is correct. With Eric, with Rick, no. They had slept together one time, and then she was just pregnant. They only slept together that one time, and then the next time after that was on their honeymoon. But when Bridget was conceived, I wouldn't say he took advantage. She was drunk and inebriated while he was, I guess, tipsy. But he was aware that Brooke,
was not.
You can kind of see the correlation.
Okay, got you. Yeah, all right. Well, do you think that Zende deserved that punch in the face?
What punch?
I know it was weak.
RJ was fighting the air. Zende might have caught the punch from the air, but that's about it.
Girl, do you see Joshua Hoffman's arms? He had to be careful.
And he had to fight the heir, and the heir was mad enough to attack Zende, I guess. But for that air punch to leave that type of shiner on his that boy's face, that was hilarious to me. I'm like, your mama hit better than that.
Gotcha. But do you
I
think
mean,
he deserve? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I mean, if we're just going off of the looks of Joshua Huffman's arms, I would say that Zende should his half of that side of his face should have been swollen because he's got some big arms.
It was red. It was red where he punched him at.
Yeah, that dude, that man got some big arms. I mean, he works. You talking about working his biceps and triceps?
Yeah,
But to answer your, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, to answer your question, he deserved to get punched.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
Do you think that he should accept Luna back?
No, it's not the end of the world. I mean, it's not that girl's. She didn't deliberately try to cheat on him, but cheating, I guess, is still cheating. I guess it's a matter of his tolerance level for cheating. And what other female options does he have? So he might as well go and just keep Luna, and unless they bring Paris back into the mix, that would be nice.
Well, he did say that every time he see Luna, he sees Zende with her. So that's gonna be a whole problem.
This would be the perfect time to bring Coco back.
That would be if they could. Yep, but I gotta say he gotta take accountability for the fact, and I said that before, that he should have went back to the party and say, hey, I don't know what's going on, but your girl is in my bed. Now she claims she wants to get with me, but I need you to come get her.
I'm just glad that they didn't have him, because I just knew what was going to happen was he was going to and run with the idea that Zende took advantage of her, and they were going to turn it back into he took advantage of a drugged up girl. But it just seems to me that he's just pissed off that being his cousin, that he didn't
tell him or whatever.
Yeah, that he didn't just escort Luna back to the house or something like that. Took advantage of the situation of her being in his bed and not knowing that she was drugged, an opportunity to sleep with her instead of saying, no, I'm not going to do it because you're with my cousin.
Now, Jasmine Williams in the comment section said Luna's mistake was not telling RJ immediately.
Yeah, I think he still would have reacted the same.
I don't think he would have been as upset with Luna for keeping it for him for, what has it been, a couple months now?
Yeah, that was.
I was really referring to the reaction to Zende, but yeah, he definitely would have been less angry. I mean, he still probably would have. He would have been still angry at the situation, but I don't think he would have been angry at Luna if she told him quicker than what she did.
Now, I will say, because I know there are a few people in the chat that are saying that they were hoping that there could have been a Zuna, Zende and Luna from the get-go. But I got to quote Keish on this one. Now that this has happened, I don't even know if we want it now.
Nope. I was done with the shipping the two of them after that failed surprise dinner proposal that he gave her. Or not proposal. The surprise dinner that he set up for her
in the studio.
Down. Yeah, and she just straight up said, "I'm not interested."
Right.
RJ is the only man I want to be with. Like, it was sweet, but no, thank you. Because like you rarely see that in soaps where somebody just draws that line and says, "I'm not interested in you at all. This is who I want to be with. Thanks anyway." And that's what she did. She left. There has been no, not even an inch of possibility that she was interested in Zende. She left no room for that at all. So after that, it was like, okay, I don't want him sniffing around her, begging her to be with him.
I mean, I'm still a Zuna fan, and I would still I wouldn't be mad if they eventually ended up going there. But in the midst of all of this, and I know Bree feels the same way, I've actually become Team Zoppy. I want to see Zende and Poppy hook up. I know a lot of people ain't with that, but I don't know. I saw a lot of chemistry between Zende and Poppy during the few weeks that this was leading up.
Well, I don't know.
And they can't even hide it. They keep putting this woman around this man.
Look at her holding his face in the middle picture, right there, dead middle of the screen. Like, look at her tending to him. Like they've got something. Zende and Poppy really do have some chemistry.
What was so funny, I seen some stuff in the comment section talking about how RJ was about to knock the butterflies off his shirt. Cause he got them. I don't. Sometimes I wonder about the fashion on Bold. I'm like, cause I saw them butterflies on. I'm like, what does he got on?
Yeah, that shirt is awful.
It sure is.
It almost looks country western in a way too. Like he was about to go bull riding or something. I thought that shirt was kind of weird too.
Yeah, he had. It's like two butterflies on each side of that on that shirt, and then somebody in the comment section was talking about how RJ knocked the butterflies off his shirt. I was rolling. Y'all crazy in these chats. I gotta tell you. But I don't know if the whole thing with Poppy and Zende. I mean, I guess they do put them in the same space. But my question is, where do they go from here? Because you now have to bring Thomas back to Hope for the Future. Them three ain't gonna be able to work together.
I wonder if they're not even going to address like, um, I guess the state of Hope for the Future. Like if it's not even going to be a factor in whether or not Thomas comes back and works on her line or he does something different.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just going to roll with Hope for the Future is doing fine either way.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think they'll do another. I wouldn't think that they would do another storyline where Zende has failed again as one of the lead designers of the line. So I feel like they're not even really. My guess is that they're not even going to address that, and it's just going to be a thing where he either decides to go back and work for her line, or they have him do something else. And personally, I love that they work together. Like, it's cute. He gets her. He understands her vibe and all that kind of stuff. But now that I know they're broken up right now, but we know they're getting back together. Now that they're together, I kind of want Thomas to do something on his own.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that he can't help Hope with anything or Hope for the Future anymore, but I mean, have him be kind of like the advisor to Zende, but creating his own line for himself. Because I want to see Thomas do something that is independent of Hope.
Yeah.
I would love to see Thomas come back. Because, obviously he said it would be too hard to work with her. But this is his legacy. This is his, his family's legacy. So I would love to see him come back and maybe work on a men's line or something like that, or do something with Couture and work on his own line finally. And like you said, if they need some help, he can advise Zende on some things, but have Thomas come back and actually start working on his own line. And then I actually would like to see them have Zende, Luna, and RJ still have to work. I hope for the future. Like that would make for some good drama to see how that would work out. But have Zende actually be successful this time, and have because Eric and Hope want Luna to work closely with Zende, have whatever Zende and Luna be like a success, right? And then because I thought that's where they were going to go with it, that maybe she was going to start having feelings for Zende as she works closer with him, and then you can show RJ maybe being jealous of seeing them actually thrive career-wise working together.
Gotcha. I mean, go ahead, Bree.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, I want to take it a step further, actually, for Thomas. I want him to come back and start working on the lingerie line. Work on Brooke's bedroom line. And then Hope gets to see him interact with all the pretty, sexy models. And I want that to kind of drive her crazy because you had this man who was all for you, and now he's all for these other women.
Yeah, it would be interesting. I'm just wondering if, in fact, RJ and Luna get back together, which probably they will. What storyline are we going to have for Zende now? Hopefully, not him still trying to chase this girl.
Poppy.
What you say?
Poppy. Haven't they get with Poppy?
No, well, next week she gonna be right back up under Bill, according to the spoilers. So, when that ain't gonna happen anytime soon. Yeah, so yeah, Bill will be consoling her over this situation. So where does that leave Zende now? I just hope that they don't have him still trying to, or also during this time of separation, instead of giving her time to let RJ figure this out, he's still gonna be like, well, you're not together with him. Why don't you be with me? No.
Let that go.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you will, because look what he said to her a couple of days ago when she decided to tell RJ. He was like, "Well, if he doesn't forgive you, just remember, I'm here for you."
Yeah.
Like basically,
waiting in the wings.
You be with me, yeah. You can be with me if he doesn't forgive you.
Yeah.
Like, how have you not? Can you take a hint? And it's not even a hint. She's telling you she doesn't want you.
Right.
Like,
yeah, she been saying it these last few days. I love RJ. I love RJ. I love RJ. It's like, why would you continue to chase somebody who loves somebody else? I mean, granted, we knew Thomas did it for the last 10 years, but we don't need now Zende doing this situation with Luna. It's just, I wish they would give him something else. The last time he was that good guy trying to do stuff for Paris. Paris was the one that stepped outside of the relationship, and then she said she just want to be single. So, then that left him single, and now they put him in this storyline. It just sucked.
yeah.
So, all right, did we cover everything?
That was pretty much it.
Yep, no.
What did you guys think about, was it this week when, oh wait, no, that was last week, wasn't it? Hope and Liam, their conversation? Or did they talk this week at all?
Yeah, they did. We was talking about how he had the same conversation he had with Steffi last week about being a dad now, and that whole
That was
thing.
the first thing we talked about, wasn't
it? Yeah. Yep. All right. So we will move on as we get toward the end of the show. So let's move on to our flip the script segment. And if there's a particular scene or storyline we wish we could change, this is where we flip the script. So, for the Young and the Restless, what y'all got for y'all flips?
My flip would have been, instead of Adam calling Sharon, Adam flew over to see what's going on with his son.
Okay. What about you, Jay and Keish?
My flip would have been for Christine to tell Phyllis she can have Danny after he gave her that lackluster D.
Oh Lord.
Why does it be lackluster?
Because girl, did you see? Come on. It was so mechanical and just. I'm like, I don't even know why they wanted to give us that. There's a lot of people that's not feeling Summer and Chance now. They're saying they're boring. I've been seeing that in some of the spaces, so I'm like, wow. I think it's Y&R. They're not putting the heat with some of these couples, so.
They gotta stop with the elevator music.
Exactly.
Maybe they need to put Summer with Nate, like Bree heard from that rumor she heard a while back.
Well, they should have went on and moved Audra over to Nate, because that was when she climbed on top of him in that hotel room before Tucker came. I was like, oh my goodness. They should.
Maybe we will still get that because she turned Tucker down for the engagement. So maybe we'll still eventually get Audra and Nate.
Yeah, that would be because right now Nate is just working. He ain't got nobody. Victoria kicked him to the curb for Cole. I don't know where that's going because that's another sleepy town one right there too. Cole and Victoria.
Well, he really kicked her to the curb, didn't he? After the whole fiasco, how he felt like she sided with Victor.
Yeah,
I feel like he ended that.
He did.
He did.
Twice, I think Victoria went to him and tried to
get back with him.
Because she was missing her chocolate bar. You know, she wasn't trying to give that up without at least an attempt to keep it.
It's so funny.
Nate was like, "I'm good."
Yeah, you lost the chance.
My flip would have been for Jack to call Victor and say, "Come get your wife," because she over here. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. That was exactly what mine was going to be.
Well, maybe you got more colorful words. What you got for us? How are you going to talk about it?
I was just going to say that he called Victor and let Victor know what's been going on with her. That she's been drinking. She's at his house drunk right now, and they need to talk about putting her in rehab because she's not listening to anybody. She's doing what she wants to do and manipulating them along the way.
Exactly. That's the perfect word. I don't know who I was talking to, maybe it was in the group chat. She's using that as a way to manipulate them to get her way. That's exactly what she's doing, which is why she needs to be in rehab, because that's the alcohol trying to get what it wants, and it's using manipulation to do it.
The Emmy Winehouse rehab song is her theme song right now.
Exactly. They try to make me go to rehab, but I said no. All right, what's y'all flip? What is your flips for bold?
Mine would have been for RJ's punch to actually connect.
Dang. Well, according to Zende's face, it did.
Lies.
Oh, what y'all got, Keisha J?
My flip would have been for Zende to punch him back. I would have liked to see an actual fight instead of him just taking a punch.
That would have been a good one.
That would have been a good one because them two hustling and tussling, tearing up the design room. That would have been crazy.
Because they got issues outside of Luna. You know, you never the whole him feeling like RJ was, showing favoritism. So get all that out. Go ahead and use this opportunity right now. He swung on you first. Go ahead and get you something too.
RJ said Zende was playing in his face. Yeah.
He also said he was basically done with Zende. Like he wanted nothing more to do with him ever.
It's not like they hung out anyway. I would have been like, no big loss here.
Yeah. My flip would have been having Finn put a shirt on before letting Hope up in that house. Like, hold on, let me get a shirt. There you go. Because I guarantee you, Steffi, if she saw it, she would not be happy with that right now.
Well, he wouldn't put one on right after that commercial break.
I know, but they just had... Well, at least he didn't walk in like Liam always does. He just walk in people's houses like, hello, I'm here. It's like, dude, did you knock?
Well, Liam is entitled to everybody's business and property, so.
I know. A little puke would always be a little puke. Okay. Everybody got their flips in? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Who's taking some seats on the Young and the Restless?
Phyllis.
Yeah.
Victoria. Cole.
Nikki.
Victor.
Man, girl, you taking a whole list.
I like how we just throwing them out.
Right. She got a whole list over there.
All of them for this Claire situation can take a seat. Every one of them.
I agree. Except for Summer.
Yeah, except Summer.
Mm. What you got? Oh, Bree, you using Keisha's list?
Yeah, I co-sign.
Jay?
Yeah, I also co-sign.
Well, I'm going to give the treatment facility and tell that lady behind that screen, even though she is already sitting down, she need to go take several seats and let them talk to their son. That's crazy. I don't understand that nonsense. I honestly think something else is behind that, but it remains to be seen. Um, I don't know. I'm sorry, but Lily need to take a seat. I
I
just
can't get mad at you for that.
I can't. That pettiness is just ugh. Mm-mm. It's not a good look. And parts of me understand why Keisha's saying what she's saying because they're making her look like a villain. If you want to get, because when she did an article or something was interview was done, they said we're gonna see a new era to Lily. Don't do it like this. Do it differently, you know. But that's just my take. Um, who y'all got taking seats on Bold?
Liam, go to your job.
Well, he was working today. He met up with Carter for a meeting.
Lies.
Did I mention anything?
What'd you
Carter
say?
take the seat for the way that he responded to Zende, telling him about what happened with him and Luna.
Okay.
I didn't like that. I'm not saying that he, needed to be easy on Zende, but just his tone of voice with him was like he's never made a mistake.
It's a pot on the kettle.
Yeah.
You talking about who did you say?
Carter.
Carter. Yeah, that's what I thought you said. Um, Angela said Hope need to take some seats and don't detour to Steffi's house. Um, somebody said Janine Holmes said I heard that Nat is going to the new soap opera The Gate. Who is Nat?
Who is Nat?
Nate.
Oh, Nate? Oh, she spelled it N-A-T. I thought she said Nat.
I think she's saying the actor who plays Nate is going over to. I need to see this cast list.
I hope not. I like Sean Dominic as Nate.
I was surprised he wasn't nominated for the Emmys.
Yeah, because he did have a big, he did have a big year and a big story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he deserved it more than John McCook. Did John McCook get one?
Oh yeah, he got a nomination.
He got lead.
He got lead.
Oh, he got lead. Yikes.
Yeah, but he got it for that whole Eric November sweeps thing at the hospital and the coughing up the blood and all that stuff. And even Donna got it. Jennifer Garris got one too.
Well deserved too. But congratulations to the nominees. There's only one that actually two that I know we talked in the group chats about that I was just a little confused.
I'm wondering why they didn't give Zalika one.
My thoughts as well. When I was talking with Keish yesterday, the day before, I can't remember Keish. The way she broke it down, I'm like, I see why Allison Amir got her nomination. And looking back at it, Keish, I was looking at some scenes again today as well. The girl definitely deserved her nomination. Zalika it was utilized in a lot of scenes, but as far as something that was impactful, like what Summer was going through.
Yeah, it was emotional.
Yeah, I felt Keisha was point. I respect that, but maybe next year. Hopefully, they're able to give her some different storylines leading towards the end of 2024, so she can get on that Emmy card because she's a talented actress. Salika's a talented actress.
They should have gave it. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say we've seen in the last couple of months since they've kind of changed her tune when it came to her and Tucker being in a committed relationship. She's shown more emotion in these last couple months than she has since she's been on this show, in my opinion.
I agree.
They should have gave Trevor a nomination
I agree with that. I'm surprised he didn't get nominated.
I was shocked by that too.
Unless he didn't submit, I have no clue when actors submit, if they submit or not. But he had a lot of material.
Mm-hmm. That's somebody that definitely deserved the lead more than John McCook. I don't want to sound like I'm hating on John McCook, but like, I just didn't feel like that storyline was that great, or his performance. And
man, Jay, say it with your chest.
Tucker's year, I mean, y'all agree. Tucker definitely had a better year and a more impactful performance.
I hope next year Eileen gets a nomination.
Oh, she's already she's gonna be like, look, I have months worth.
Mm-hmm.
All these altars and oh my goodness,
that's a rock. Yeah,
I imagine that she wouldn't get nominated.
Mm-hmm.
Her or Melody Thomas Scott.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Jake and Catherine Kelly Lang was nominated as well.
Well, I think at the beginning of the year that it was that whole thing when it came to her and Taylor. That her girl code thing and all of that stuff. So
it still to me wasn't much
exactly
there. Like I was very shocked with that one. But my two predictions, I predicted that Annika and Scott will both be nominated.
But no Matt. Mm-hmm. But no Matt.
I would have
surprised that he was, and like I wouldn't have been mad if he would have at least got supporting. But I've said it before on this podcast. I feel like that storyline was more of Hope's storyline than it was his, and all the breakup stuff. Scott Clifton like shined with that.
Yeah.
Paris. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I was going to say, Paris Barnes said Bryton James was nominated 11 times.
Mm.
And he was nominated again this year for supporting.
Yeah, well.
He probably got a lot of them when he was young, because when he did burst onto the scene, it was like he really was doing good, really great work. Being adopted, showing the tough life he had. So like he probably got a lot of those nominations when he first got there.
Oh, you know what? I just realized that. Okay, so I forgot about the material that Allison did during that time of keeping that secret from Kyle and the Abbotts about Phyllis being alive and the breakup.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me too.
Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. Go ahead.
Even before that, when Phyllis was wilding out, doing all that nonsense, and she had to fight, with her little, with Diane, she had to fire her. Like all of that, her faking her death, her coming back to life, dealing with her, like you said, lying to Kyle, eventually her and Kyle getting divorced. Like she was on an emotional roller coaster for pretty much this entire year, because all stemming from her mom's drama.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
And I think with Bryton, I want to say maybe all of the material with the back and forth with Tucker. I wonder if that is the stuff that he submitted.
All right, we got to do our star of the week and our pickle of the week. Who's y'all star for Young and the Restless?
I'm gonna give it to Mark Grossman.
Okay.
Who plays Adam? I'll give it both to the actors who played Chelsea and Adam. They both, that scene where they realize how much their child was traumatized, that you can see the emotion on their face. The actors really did a great job with that scene.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it to Allison and Michael.
Okay. What about you, Jay?
I actually gonna piggyback with Bree and give it to Mark Grossman as well. What he's been doing lately, showing Adam's inner turmoil and his guilt about what has he contributed to his son's situation. I think he's really been acting incredibly the last couple of weeks.
Gotcha. I mean, he really put a lot of emotion in that. We haven't seen that type of vulnerability from Adam. So yeah, I agree. What about for the Bold and the Beautiful?
I'll give it to the actress who plays Luna.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good pick. I
Yeah.
like that.
Because she's had some really great scenes. I'll give it to her. She's been really having some good emotional scenes. So yeah, she'd be the star for B&B.
Okay. And Keish, you said the same thing?
Yeah, I'll go with Luna too.
All right. What about you, Jay?
I'm gonna go with Sean Cannon as Deacon. I think he's been really doing great work too with his emotions over what he saw. If he can believe it or not. I feel like he doesn't get enough respect as an actor either, and I feel like he really has been shining this past week.
Okay. Gotcha. I agree with that. Sean, his facial reactions, and he buck his big blue eyes when he's in shock. I'd be like, he get those facial reactions on point.
I used to love Deacon.
He's a good actor.
Sean Keenan is a talented actor. He's on either show has just made an impact, and he's definitely one of those characters that he can knock it out of the park with it. So I would like to see them develop his character more for the show because he can definitely be utilized. I'm glad they made him rich like I was hoping they would. They just gonna get him out of that tuna can though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, we gotta do pickles. Young and the Restless. I'm gonna give it. Oh, Phyllis, go ahead.
The security.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say the two security teams. I agree with you, Bree. Jay.
Just to go different, I'll say Nikki, but more so like the actual character, not the actress. Like Nikki was just making some dumb decisions again.
Yep. And then Bold.
That punch.
Definitely the punch.
Oh man, sorry.
That I will triple up and say, yeah, that punch.
Yeah, that punch was so fake and mechanical. It was like we saw that last week on the preview. We was like, what was that?
The punch and the over dramatic I do before it.
Right.
Don't blame Luna, blame me. I do. And then you miss the punch when you
There was a lot of overacting in that scene.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm wondering, have Josh ever been in a scene where you had to actually fake punch somebody? The actor has to make it look real without actually doing it.
And I know there's like stage directors and stuff like that. So I don't want to say it's all on him. I think, however they positioned him, it just didn't look authentic, or I don't know.
But
And
that's the
his sound effects
crazy.
didn't help it.
But that's the crazy thing about it, Bree, because we've seen Steffi punch Sheila twice, and then we seen the slaps with Quinn and Brooke. It's like y'all know how to punch and slap people over there,
Yeah.
directors.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it was maybe the angle of the camera. It hurt the way
too much credit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's an act. I mean, he's acting out a punch, and it's he got to take a couple of lessons from his mama. His mama has gone toe to toe with the best.
Mm-hmm.
Or go to his sister. His sister is Sonya Blade, so she might be able to give him some pointers.
Oh my gosh.
I
Y'all
don't know
funny.
what his history is, but I don't know what his acting experience is, but I feel like he was like an Abercrombie and Fitch model or something, and they said, "Oh, you look good. You should try to do acting." And like this might be like one of his first experiences acting.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's a decent actor. I feel like he would fit more of a comedic role. That's why when I think of him, I think
Like a
of
college dorm sitcom or something like that.
like the only image I have is Joey Tribbiani. That's who he reminds me of. Like even his style, and I'm like he would fit into a role similar to that, and I think that he would really take off with it because he's actually a really good actor.
Yeah. All right. Well, we covered a lot of ground. It was really crazy on The Young and the Restless this week. Bold, okay. Some people were saying that Bold was pretty boring this week, so I don't know. It depends on what you were looking to watch. So, all right. You guys got anything else before we shut it down?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, somebody's birthday's next week.
Yes, I know. Next Wednesday.
Got plans?
Yeah, my birthday is Wednesday. My sister is on Friday. So, and then my sister-in-law is like the week after that or whatever. And so they're doing one big birthday bash next Saturday. So, yep.
Oh, enjoy yourself.
Thank you very much. And for all the tourists, there's tourist season tomorrow. Yay. All right. Other than that, we will shut it down. Have a great weekend. Stay tuned for the spoilers for the week of April 22nd through the 26th. And until then, we will see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.